All right, it is predicted that Paul Simon will die on March 21st, 2024. The date that this video was posted proves that this prediction is being made ahead of time, as does this time-stamped email and forensic notes PDF document. All right, this video was originally produced prior to March 6th, 2024. If this is your first video on this channel, the way in which God's true big picture of signs, patterns, and connections works, which is only being explained on this channel, is that the signs cannot be properly understood without their context and connections to other prophetic signs, and they engender trails of prophetic signs that along the way have steps. And so prior to March 6th, it was known that God was overwhelmingly pointing to March 6th regarding Paul Simon. However, it was only a step in the trail of signs leading to Paul Simon's predicted death 15 days later on March 21st. Paul Simon, among other reasons for the number 15, recorded 15 studio albums. The prophetic signs that occurred on March 6th that are relevant, related to Paul Simon, and this big story that God is telling through Paul Simon that includes other things, are explained. The signs that occurred on March 6th are explained in the amazing, profound, and extremely important video, the Baby Boomer Generation video. Make sure you watch that video also. But in fact, in my opinion, it should be obvious that once the prediction comes to pass, Paul Simon's death on March 21st, it should be obvious to everyone that you need to watch every minute of every video of the Paul Simon videos on this channel and all of the videos in general. And the reason why all of the Paul Simon videos need to be watched is the reason why God demonstrated these trails of signs and these steps and numerous prophetic signs. The reason why God did this is in order to reveal these stories and reveal this knowledge that God has been communicating through these themes and stories that God has been telling through these trails of prophetic signs and numerous prophetic signs that connect. They connect in order to tell these stories, which are essential. They must be watched. They must be learned to understand what God is communicating through Paul Simon. Regarding the subject of this video, which is Paul Simon and Art Garfunkel's album Wednesday Morning, March 6th, a date that God was overwhelmingly pointing to ahead of time regarding Paul Simon, was a Wednesday. And so, as explained in the video Baby Boomer Generation, the prophetic signs that occurred on March 6th confirmed all of the analysis. And that is why it is relevant that this video is still relevant, and the connections and significance between the album Wednesday Morning and Wednesday, March 6th, 2024 is still valid, 100%. And if you're skeptical regarding that, fair enough. But when the prediction comes to pass that Paul Simon will die 15 days later, after the signs that indicated 15 days that occurred on March 6th, then you'll know that this is how God's big picture of signs works. And therefore, the analysis regarding the connection between Wednesday Morning, the album, and Wednesday, March 6th is valid. This short, brief video is an explanation for how Paul Simon and Art Garfunkel's first album, after they had produced music as Tom and Jerry, their first album as Simon and Garfunkel, titled Wednesday Morning, 3 a.m., which includes a song, Wednesday morning, 3 a.m., is a prophetic sign from the righteous Christian God of the Bible that is revealing the date that Kamala Harris will die in a plane crash, as well as the date it is predicted that 2 dirty bombs will explode in Manhattan, New York City, where Paul Simon and Art Garfunkel are from. The release of this album on October 19th, 1964, is one day before Kamala Harris was born. October 19th, 1964 is exactly 713 months before the date it is predicted that Kamala Harris will die. The reason why Kamala Harris will die, and this has been known since the autumn of 2020, is that her death will pave the way for the return of the Antichrist to become the president again, Barack Obama. And Barack Obama was born on the 216th day of the calendar year. 216 equals 6 times 6 times 6, which hints at 666, the number of the Antichrist in Bible prophecy. 713 months hints at the 216th prime number. Again, from the release of this Wednesday morning 3 a.m. album, it is exactly 713 months before the date it is predicted that Kamala Harris will die in a plane crash on March 19th, 2024. 713 is the 216th semi-prime number. A semi-prime number is only divisible by 2 other prime numbers, and God uses semi-prime numbers for his signs and connections. And so, this 713 months hints at the number 216, which equals 6 times 6 times 6. And 713 months after the release of this album will be the predicted death of Kamala Harris, which will lead to the rise of the Antichrist, whose number is 666 in Bible prophecy. And Obama hints at Obama. The name Obama in Hebrew gematria is 84. Obama was born on the date 84. He is predicted to become the 48th president, which is what 84 hints at also. And the word bomb is also 84 in Hebrew gematria. Obama is 32 in simple English gematria, and 32 is 8 times 4, which hints at 84, but also 48. And likewise, bomb is also 32 in simple English gematria. And 713 months after the release of this album, Wednesday morning, 3 a.m., the first album of Simon and Garfunkel, which on its cover has a picture of them in the New York City subway, will be the date it is predicted that 2 dirty bombs will explode in Manhattan, New York City. And as a result, also, this will play a role in the rise of Obama as the Antichrist. The date that Paul Simon is predicted to die on March 6th hints at 3 sixes, 666. And Paul Simon's predicted death will be 13 days before Kamala Harris is predicted to die in a plane crash. And this is because the number 13 symbolizes America, which was founded with 13 colonies. And in the Bible, America is symbolized by the 13th tribe of Israel, the tribe of Manasseh, which is the reason for 13 colonies. And Paul Simon and Art Garfunkel have as one of their most famous songs, America, the song named America. Paul Simon's predicted death will be 21,688 days after this Wednesday morning 3 a.m. album was released. Paul Simon's predicted death on March 6th will be on a Wednesday. This 21,688 days connection hints at 21,600 plus 88 days. 21,600 hints at 216, which is 6 times 6 times 6. 88 hints at 2 times 44 and the second presidency for the 44th president. And so, from the release of this Wednesday morning album, it is 713 months to Harris's predicted death, and that is the 216th prime number. And also the release of this album connects with 21,600, which also hints at 216 and 6 times 6 times 6. What is also interesting is that this album is titled Wednesday Morning 3 a.m., and one of the songs on the album is dedicated to one of 3 civil rights activists who was a schoolmate of Paul Simon and Art Garfunkel that was murdered in the famous murders of 3 civil rights protesters in the 1960s. And so I believe it is likely that this 3 a.m. hints at this. These 3 civil rights student protesters, activists that were murdered. The 3 names together, I forget their names. I apologize. I could look it up. Let me just see. It's known as the murders of Cheney, Goodman, and Schwerner. So because they were all murdered together, they were abducted and killed. And it was during the Freedom Summer. Okay, and one of them was the schoolmate of Simon at Queens College. His name was Andrew Goodman. And the song is named He Was My Brother, dedicated to him. All right, so anyway, I believe the 3 a.m. hints at that, and that is because we are, and the Antichrist, America is in the midst of a totalitarian movement like the Chinese Cultural Revolution that is a moral hysteria, and it is leading to genocide and murder led by the Antichrist. That's where all of this is headed very soon. God's signs overwhelmingly confirm this as well. But the handwriting's on the wall. You don't even need the prophetic signs really to understand where all of this is headed with the totalitarian left and their insanity at this moment in history. And so, anyway, that's this prophetic sign, Wednesday morning, 3 a.m. album, and it connects to both Harris's death and Simon's death with the number 216, 6 times 6 times 6. Aliens and UFOs are demons masquerading as aliens and UFOs. Most people's spiritual experiences are demonic deception, especially if they are not a true follower of Christ. God became a man and died a horrible death at the hand of the ruler of this world, Satan, and then defeated death for you, so that you too can overcome death, which is the price that must be paid for sin. It is time to repent, which means to change one's ways and turn to God and become a disciple of Jesus. Please leave a like and upvote the video. And once this prediction has come to pass, share this video with everyone you know, and more, don't stop sharing it everywhere in social media. It is essential that everyone immediately read the homepage of my website, TrumpPrediction.com. If you are watching this on the YouTube platform, please note that not all of the videos are on YouTube. You need to switch to the BitChute.com or the Odyssey.com channel. And do it now in case you aren't able to later.